Hello, hey YouTube world. Hi everybody. I have some things I want to share about, but this video, I went back and forth. I really did. I went back and forth on making this, but I decided I needed to. Basically, this is going to be my experience with what some of the hardest part of having seizures is, and it's the shame that comes with it. It's the shame, and it's the fear, and it's the embarrassment. And I've shared a little bit before. This one's going to be a little bit more raw, but I also want to share on the antidote to it, which is kindness. It really is. So y'all bear with me through this video, okay? But if you're anyone who has, someone who has seizures, please watch this. And then if you're someone who has been going through it and you find yourself feeling embarrassed and lost and like you don't know how to get support, please watch this. It's going to be real though. So I'm going to share my experience of what happened to me a couple weeks ago. And then I'm going to kind of pick it apart. Because I feel like when we have really tough experiences and we have moments that suck, let's just say it, they suck. If we just leave it there, it's just going to bring this lingering like, that's just part of my life feel. But if we can take a minute and really look at it and examine it and find the truth in it, then maybe it'll help us move past it and maybe it'll help other people. And that's my hope, that this will help other people as well. So I was with my husband and my son, and I was going to run into a store really quick to get a bridal shower gift because I had a bridal shower I was going to later. I was really excited about it. I knew that morning that I was off. I had had a small seizure in the morning, and I think it was lack of sleep. But I shook it off. That's very normal for me to have small one in the morning. I've shared in other videos that typically now my husband and my son don't even know because they happen in the morning, and unless I share it with them, they don't really know. So, and I prefer it that way right now. I prefer to not have it seep into their lives. And that's not out of a like, oh, I don't want my stuff on everybody else. It's not that. It's just, if they're to the point where I can manage them, then that's what I want to do. I just want to. I want to do that. Now, there are moments that are harder, and I have to go to my husband and say, this is rough. Or I just lay my head on his shoulder or on his back, and that brings me comfort. So anyway, I think I had mentioned to him, I think it's a little bit blurry, but that I wasn't feeling quite right. But then I was like, I'm excited about this baby shower. Let's just pop in here really quick. And they don't like shopping, y'all. They don't like that, and especially for a bridal shower gift. I mean, come on. So they were going to stay in the car. So I run into the store, and I remember printing off the registry, the paper registry, and I remember walking towards the aisle that there were some things on the registry that were still available that were kind of within my price point, and I remember thinking, okay, I need to go to this aisle, because on the registry it says what aisle it's on. The next thing I really remember is that there was broken like glass around me, like not like clear glass, but like I think it was white, and I was probably more than one, I couldn't tell, but like the section where there's the pitchers and the bowls and the plates, and my stomach dropped because I instantly knew somehow I broke these plates. I was sitting on the ground, and there was glass around me, and there were big chunks of glass. It wasn't like this huge shattering scene. I vaguely remember that moment. But the biggest thing I remember is the gut drop. And those of you that have any confusion with your seizures or any kind of medical thing that brings confusion, I think you know what I'm talking about with that moment where it's like you kind of come back and it's like, oh, what did I do? What happened? I'm going to try not to get emotional, but it's already happening. Because that moment with that feeling is so hard to describe to someone who's not experienced it. And so it doesn't make sense to a lot of people. It doesn't. So I remember very strongly that feeling of like, just instant shame and embarrassment. And then I was still kind of confused because I didn't really know what happened. I remember at that point like this very kind lady being there, and she was older. I wish I had gotten her name or something. But she was there, and I remember she was holding the registry papers at that point. And then I'm still trying to piece together kind of where I'm at. And I see the signs. I was at Target. So I'm seeing the signs and stuff. And it's slowly coming back to me that James and Jackson are in the car. So I'm trying to find my phone in my purse. And then this very kind lady is like, do you have your card? And I realized what she had done is she had picked out from the registry some gifts for me and even got a bag. Now, I don't know if I told her. I don't remember talking to her. I don't remember if I said anything about bridal shower or if she just looked at my registry and decided to help me. And I'm emotional because that feeling I was talking about, but also this lady was so kind. And I'm emotional about that because in the moment I didn't realize how amazing she was being. And I wish I could have. I wish I could have thanked her. So, sorry y'all. Anyway, so it's funny now because I'm like, I just gave this lady my card as I'm trying to find my phone because I have a big purse. As I'm trying to find my phone to call James because I'm feeling this like panic come up. And I don't panic much. But when you're anyway, y'all know. If y'all have experienced it, you know. But for those of you who don't and you just know someone, you're trying to support them, just give them the space. Okay, it might bring on panic. It's really scary in moments when you're trying to piece things together. So as I'm trying to find my phone, she asks for my card, and I just give it to her. And she checks out. I don't know what happened to the glass. I don't know any of that. I have these bags, and she's like, can I help you? Like, where's your car? And I told her, I remember saying, I'm calling my husband. And this is the thing. In that moment, I wanted to run. I wanted to run away because as we're walking towards the door, I'm realizing more and more what's going on. And instead of my first reaction being, oh, this woman has been so kind to me, my first reaction was, I want to run away right now. I'm so embarrassed. I'm being honest. I wish it were different. But it was, I want to get the heck out of here. I'm so embarrassed and I just want to sit down. I want to curl up in a ball and I just want to cry. I want James's shoulder. I want my husband's back so I can just lay on him and cry and be okay. Honest to God. So I have my bags and she gave me my card back and everything. We're walking towards the door and I'm like, oh, I have my phone. I'm calling my husband. I don't know if I said thank you even. I think I just ran out the door. So I call James, and then I'm like, where are you? And then I see them pull up, and I'm just thinking, don't lose it, don't lose it, don't lose it. At first, my first reaction, I just want to run, and I want to get to him, and I want to be safe, and I just want to lose it, and I just want to know I'm okay. But then as I see them pulling up in the car with my son in the back, I'm thinking, don't lose it. Just keep it together. Just keep it together. Just keep it together. Just keep it together. You're in the car. You're fine. You have everything you need. You're fine. Just keep it together. So I get in the car, and obviously, James can tell something is wrong. But he doesn't know what, and I'm not telling him. I'm not communicating. So here's another little tip right there. For people who are going through the seizures, we need to work on not letting the embarrassment shut us down. We have to learn how to communicate what's going on. We have to. For those who are supporting people through it, give us a little grace. It might take us a minute to communicate what's going on. But what happens in that space, and what happened to us, is that when I'm not telling him what's going on, and he knows something's going on, it starts building a panic in him. He starts getting scared of what the heck is going on with her. And he's a fixer. He's like, what? Just tell me what I need to do. Just tell me what's going on. And if I don't tell him, he'll come up with it. So he comes up with it. I'm going to take you to the hospital. Or you just need to go home. Or you don't need to do things like this alone anymore. And why didn't you call me? And all things that make total sense. But in my moment of don't lose it, don't lose it, don't lose it, I hear that. It's not what it was, but I hear that as you failed, what the heck? And I lose it. And I completely lose it. And again, how I heard it is not how it was meant, and it's probably not even how it was spoken. But that's how I heard it. So I completely lose it. And I didn't even know what was in the bags. It started flooding me the fact of everything that happened, and then I'm just sobbing. I'm just sobbing in the car. And my husband doesn't know what to do. Because it has been a while since something like that, to that effect, has happened. And before it would happen with him right there. And he would have seen it to know how to support me. And this one, it was like, I got out of the car, and then when I came back, total mess. Let me tell you guys, in those moments, if you're supporting someone with seizures and that happens, do not ever bring up or comment to the fact that it didn't happen with you there, or you didn't see it. Because when people have seizures that are unexplained, or anything that's unexplained, and it has been, they've been accused many times of just making these things happen. Because, you know, that's what we would want to do, right? We would want to go into a store and break things. When that's been the history, and you say, well, it's funny that it happened when I wasn't there, it's instantly taken as you are accusing me of making this up and lying. And I feel more insecure now, and I feel more ashamed, and I feel more embarrassed, and now I'm mad because you don't get it. And I can't make you get it, so I want to shut off again. Here's the other part of that. For those of you going through seizures, we cannot shut off. You can't do it. The second you shut off, there's no hope of them understanding. There's no hope of them being a support. Don't shut down. Those are the moments that are going to suck, and your emotions are going to be crazy, and you're going to feel like that person just accused you, and they don't get it, and they don't care. And if you shut down, you're going to continue thinking that's the truth, and it's not the truth. Okay? Hear me here. It's not the truth. They just don't know what to do, and they're scared. And if you shut down, they're not going to know anything different, and you're not going to know anything different. So I end up getting to the point where I can calm down a little bit. And I'm just saying, I'm just embarrassed. I'm just embarrassed. It's been a while since this, to this scale, has happened. I had never broken anything before outside of my own home. And I don't understand how it happened. And he wanted to know how it happened. And I couldn't tell him. I couldn't tell. I don't know. To this day, I don't know. So when things calm down, then he and I can start talking. And we can start realizing he's getting frustrated because he can't fix it. And I'm emotional because I'm embarrassed. And instead of letting them into that, I wanted to protect them from it. I wanted to keep them from it and just manage it myself. I'm not saying that if you have seizures that are the type that, like mine in the mornings, they don't have to know. I'm not saying not to do that. That's fine. I feel like I have some independence with that I don't have to go to them every time I'm confused, or I don't have to go anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can manage it, but be careful, because what I have found is that with doing that has almost become a hidden factor of like, I don't want them to know at all. I don't want them to know when it's happening, and that's kept me from reaching out when it has. And I think that creates a bigger issue for when they do happen of how to support. So I'm just being very vulnerable here, y'all, and I'm just sharing shortly after an experience like this, my takeaways. Okay? So the biggest issue that I have with these when they're bigger, or not bigger, but cause a bigger deal, I feel extremely dramatic. And then in me trying to not feel dramatic, I hold it in, and then it bursts, which actually makes it dramatic, because then I'm sobbing dramatically. It's silly, but that's how it happens. So I instantly get embarrassed. I'm scared to feel dramatic, and I feel ashamed of what happened. Shame is the hardest part of it, and how quickly it tries to come on. And if I shut myself down in that moment, I'm never going to have anything else enter in to say, you don't need to be ashamed. People who are supporting people through this, the best thing you can tell them is you don't need to be embarrassed. They may say you don't get it. If someone said you don't need to be embarrassed by that, I might be like, you don't get it. You didn't just break however many stuff in the middle of Target and not know why. I may say that. I may think that. But to continually hear, there's no need to be embarrassed. You're okay. You do not need to feel ashamed. You couldn't control it. I'm here for you is the best thing you can do for them. So in the midst of me feeling all of that and that gut-dropping blah, the kindness of one woman changed the whole experience for me. In the moment, I was still a mess, and afterwards, I was still a mess. Enough afterwards, though, I realized how kind that lady was. And if she hadn't been there, I don't know. I would have probably eventually found my phone, tried to call James, and it would have felt more dramatic to me. It may not have been. The right thing may have been to call my husband right away. And I would have if I could have found my phone. But the fact that I had this woman with me who was being kind, and she didn't stop. She didn't stop what we were doing. I almost wonder if she knows someone with seizures or something, because she continued the progression. It's like she knew what I needed and she kept going. She got the items. She got me checked out. It diffused the situation, other than me sitting around glass trying to call James and then them coming in. To me, that would have felt more dramatic, because here comes my husband and my son, and I'm sitting in a pile of glass crying because I don't know what's going on. So, I just want to encourage everybody that when someone's embarrassed and feeling shame, and like you just don't know what to do, you being kind speaks volumes into the situation and brings so much peace into the situation. So much. I wish I could find this lady. I don't even know. She may have worked there. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I went to that baby shower having no idea what I got her. And I remember looking at the bag and going, oh, that looks exactly like my friend. She did a really good job picking it out. Maybe it was Jesus, you know? Could have been my own little angel. But I just wanted to share and try to bring some hope into a situation. I know you're like, oh, hope, you're sitting here crying, but I'm emotional because I'm seeing the two extremes. And I'm seeing ways that we can help. And I'm seeing things we can do to make this easier. Maybe not easier, but more livable. That we can continue to move forward. If in the middle of feeling shame and embarrassed, if I can pause and I can go, you know what? And if I can just voice it, I truly think if I had gotten in the car and told my husband right away, I feel so embarrassed. I just broke things. I just had a seizure in there and broke things, and I'm so embarrassed. Can you just sit with me for a minute? I know he would have. He would have, and then we probably would have laughed about it. But I didn't. Instead, I was like, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together. Why? I think there's this lie that when we're embarrassed or we feel ashamed about something, that if we bring someone else into it, it will spread. And it will become dramatic. But I think it's the opposite. I hope you guys hear me here. I think it's the opposite. When we're embarrassed or we feel ashamed about something, if we bring someone else in, if we share it with them, if we're vulnerable and we tell them and we're honest with them, I think it diffuses it. I think it loses its power. I think we view it as if I tell someone I'm embarrassed and what I'm ashamed of, it's like they're going to come over and pour gasoline on the fire and poof. But in all reality, I think they're the ones holding the bucket of water. Y'all catch that? So here's my takeaway from this. I know this has gotten to be a long video of just emotions, and I apologize, I'm sniffling and don't have makeup on and blah, blah, blah. But we have to learn how to communicate, and I honestly think it's just in that moment being vulnerable and being honest. This is what just happened, and I feel like blah. I feel fill in the blank. And let them respond. If you have people around you who are going to respond negatively to you in that moment, they don't need to be around you. Just being honest. Now, people are human. Give them grace. I'm not saying 10 out of 10 times they're going to respond perfectly, but give them a chance. Because then you guys can break through some barriers and maybe they can understand a little bit better and you can feel more support at the end of the day. And then you're not holding it all in. So that's what I have today. There's always hope because there's always kindness. Kindness that just literally breaks through shame. And even though it seems hard, if we can be vulnerable, there's that bucket of water to put out the flames. If you guys have any questions or you guys want to share your journeys about it, feel free to comment. Feel free to email me. Just know you're not alone in this. You're not alone in this. This non-epileptic seizures, this absent seizures, this concussion seizures, this they don't know what seizures thing. I'm almost a year into it. And I'm still having complete breakdowns where afterwards I go, wow, I did not handle that well. But it's okay. We learn from it. But we got to keep moving. So you're not alone. Reach out if you need support. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you've been following my journey. If you guys have any wins. If you guys have any input that you think help. I love you all so much. It's a good day. I'm extremely blessed. I'm extremely thankful. I'm extremely thankful for that woman/angel. I hope somehow she knows how thankful I am. I love you all so much. I will chat with you soon. Bye.